My name is Greg Biggs. I'm a sales rep here in the United States, covering the South and Northeast territories. Today, we're going to be talking about the Delta 4 Phantom Plus and the Phantom+MR. The Delta 4 family of products offers products for patient QA from the plan to the last fraction. Starting with treatment planning, we have a product called TPV, Treatment Planning Verification. It's a software package that runs in the background. So once you finish your treatment planning, you send it over to the TPV software where it's analyzed based upon criteria that you and your clinic have established. It uses Monte Carlo in order to do a recalculation of the dose and then compares those results to your criteria. The next step is pre-treatment verification. And this is where we'll talk about the Delta 4 Phantom Plus and the Phantom+MR. And finally, we have at treatment verification, which is our Discover system. Discover is a transmission detector that mounts on the head of the machine and stays on the machine through the course of treatment, monitoring the delivery to the patient. Tomorrow, at this same time slot, my colleague Madeline will be doing a presentation on the Discover system. So please join in on that and learn more about the Delta 4 Discover system. So today, we'll be talking about the Phantom Plus and the Phantom+MR, our pre-treatment verification system. So the question comes up, is the plan deliverable? Does it correctly transfer to the accelerator control system? Is the machine able to deliver the plan? And what about the MLC performance? This is an image of the Delta 4 Phantom Plus system. It's the first and only completely wireless system on the market. There is no warm-up time required. You place it on the couch, you line it up to the lasers, and you're ready to go. The Phantom itself uses Wi-Fi to connect to a router that we have installed in the vault. That router is pre-wired to the outside world. The Phantom is battery operated. The charge on the battery lasts about 4 hours. But if you happen to be in one of those difficult days where the battery gets discharged, there's no problem. You just plug it in with power cord and continue with your work. The system is internally triggered, so there's no sync cable that is required. The system has long-term stable P-type silicone diodes. The relative and directional calibration is done in the factory, so it does not have to be done in the field for the life of the product. Of course, you have to do the absolute dose calibration. What you see here, the gentleman is pulling the ion chamber insert out of the Phantom. You tell us what kind of ion chamber you're going to use for your absolute dose calibration, and we include that ion chamber insert. Some sites will purchase multiple ion chamber inserts. For example, they may want to use a farmer chamber to do their absolute dose calibration, but during their actual patient QA, they may want to put a pinpoint chamber in so you can have an independent check of that point dose. This is what I call the most important slide of the whole presentation. The reason being, this is the internal geometry of the system. We have a sagittal and coronal boards, and you can see in the center area, which is the ISO center, let's call it, there's a concentration of our diodes. This technology is patented by Scanados, so no one else out there can duplicate this. This is why some of our competitors have decided that they have to put diodes all around the periphery of their cylinder and then they calculate the dose in the isocentric and the high gradient region. Whereas with Scanadose and the Delta 4 Phantom Plus and the Phantom+MR, we are measuring absolute dose at the time of your QA. The resolution in the center portion, this is 6 cm by 6 cm. The diodes are spaced at 5 millimeters. Outside of that, they are at 10 millimeters. We have software in the system that will take two deliveries. You make one delivery, then you offset the Phantom by 2.5 millimeters, do a second delivery, and now you can merge those two together to give you 2.5 millimeters of resolution in that isocentric and high gradient region. In case you have a long field, we can also merge two fields end to end, which give you a total of 38 centimeters of coverage. There are several similarities between the MR Phantom and the Phantom Plus, the standard Phantom Plus, and a few differences. We are compatible with both the Unity system and the Meridian system, but as you can see, we have cables on this particular Phantom. This is the MR version. The reason being, of course, that Wi-Fi doesn't work very well in an MR environment. So we have two data cables and a power cable that connect to the Phantom and go to the power supply. We've had to remove all the ferrous items from the Phantom, and also we've remoted the power supply for the system. So some of the similarities, the MR version Phantom also measures where it matters. So we measure in the isocentric and high gradient regions. We're actually measuring absolute dose. We have the highest accuracy, 5 millimeters in the isocentric area. Same thing holds true here with software where we can merge fields. And the 3D gamma analysis is based on actual measurements. Also important is the fact that we have no Faraday cage issues. When you have diodes around the outside of a cylinder, that can lead to Faraday cage issues. The system is very fast. We get an instant pass-fail analysis once the beam is off. Fast setup, easy handling. As I mentioned before, only have to do an absolute dose measurement and calibration at the time of install, and that's usually about a 20-minute process, so it's very quick and easy to do. No need to recalibrate the directional or relational for the life of the device, and it's easy to move, so we don't have to handle it. We have a trolley. I'm going to show you some images of the trolley for both the MR and the standard Phantom. And there's no lifting required to get the Phantom onto the couch. And this is important as well. We have legs that are adjustable, so we can position our Phantom into isocenter of the Unity system. Not possible with the other systems out there. And of course, it's certified up to 1.5 Tesla. This is a trolley that we use on our standard Phantom. It's been around for years. You can see the feet here protrude below the platform of the trolley. So the trolley slides up to the couch. You raise the couch to take the weight of the Phantom off of the trolley and slide the trolley out of the way. And that's all there is to positioning it on the couch. This is a new trolley that we developed to go along with the MR Phantoms. On the standard Phantom, you have room underneath the couch so that the standard trolley can get underneath the couch. However, with the MR Phantom or MR Linacs, we don't have that luxury. So you raise the couch of the MR Linac to match the height of the MR trolley. And then the Phantom just slides off right onto the couch. This is the power supply that I mentioned earlier that's mounted remotely. So the cables will go from this side. You have connectors here, and the cables will connect to the Phantom here. The power supply and the trolley are then parked outside the 5 Gauss line within the MR Linac vault. This is a screenshot of our software. And what we're seeing here, these are the 2 different boards. You have the coronal and sagittal boards here. If I hover over this area, it'll show up down here. You see this indicator here. This shows you you're on a wing board. If I were to hover over here, that would show me that I'm on the main board. These dots represent the diodes on the boards, so you can see exactly what diodes are being irradiated. Over on this side, you have the complete plan that we've selected here. So the analysis that's done down here with dose deviation, distance to agreement, and gamma index is all based upon doing the complete plan. However, I can select the individual beams and do an analysis on the individual beam or arc. So the software is very fast, very easy to use, and very intuitive. We had an independent company do a study on the Delta 4 compared to other cylindrical Phantoms, 2D arrays, and EPID. And you can see the Delta 4 is by far a much more faster and more efficient system to use. In addition to conventional Linacs, we are also compatible with the Accuray Radixact and the Varian Halcyon and Ethos systems. As a matter of fact, Accuray has selected our system, the Delta 4 Phantom Plus, along with a motion management platform we call Hexamotion, to establish and develop their motion management program within Accuray. My colleague Jeff Spielman did a presentation on that yesterday. So if you're interested in that, it should be on our website, and you can watch that by downloading off of our website. So talking about the Synchrony motion management system from Accuray, this is our Hexamotion system. So a standard Delta 4 Phantom Plus mounts into this jig, and it moves the Phantom in 6 directions to go along with the motion of the tumor within the patient. So we have several software packages that can be purchased for analysis purposes. We have the Delta 4 DVH, the Delta 4 DVH Professional, and the Delta 4 DVH Anatomy. Each of these packages offer a little bit more as far as being able to analyze your patient information. In addition, we have a software module that's for machine QA. And this will check stability of the beam, beam constancy, MLC picket fence, and you'll be able to establish trend analysis. So this can help you with the analysis, with keeping track of what's going on with your machine. So that's it. I thank you for your time. This is our Delta 4 family website. Go there. We have product information there. We also have webinar videos from the past and current that you can review there. And don't forget to visit our booth at Astro 2020. So I'm going to look now and see if we have any questions. We have one here. It says, can the Phantom Plus be used with multiple Linacs within the department? Yes, it can. As I mentioned, it's compatible with Tomo, Halcyon, and those types of Linacs. And what you'll do is purchase various software packages. We have the VMAT package, which is compatible with the Varian machines and the Electa machines. Then there's a separate software package for Tomo, Halcyon, and you can use the Phantom on any of those machines. Okay, if you have multiple vaults, does the router need to be moved from room to room? It can be, but most of our users that have multiple vaults do not do that. They purchase additional routers. So in room, let's say room 1, room 2, room 3, there'll be a router set up that's pre-wired to the outside world. So as you move the Phantom from vault to vault, it'll shake hands and connect to that particular router that's in that specific vault. Lastly, it says, can the board trolley be used on a standard Linac? Yes, it can. All you have to do with the board trolley is another word for the trolley we developed for the MR Linac. That's the trolley we sell with tomotherapy and also sell with Halcyon. So if you're going to use that on a standard Linac, all you have to do is match the height of the couch and then slide the Phantom over onto the couch. So it can be used, if you have a Tomo unit, you order the board trolley, and then you can use it on your conventional Linac as well. Okay, so that's all the questions. Be sure to give us a call if you have any questions and need additional follow-up on our products. Thanks again.